58 pounds. His professional record is 16 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, with 14 knockouts from Burbank, California, Rocky Pepeli. His opponent in the blue corner, wearing the black trunks, white trim, he weighs 233 pounds with a professional record of 28 victories, 9 defeats, with 24 knockouts from Westchester County, Pennsylvania, Smokin' Bert Cooper. 10 rounds heavyweights.
All right, you both got your instructions in the dressing room now. Keep it clean, listen to my instructions in the ring. Any questions? Touch gloves and good luck to both. Hold it, get back here. I said touch gloves and good luck to you.
Well, when Bert Cooper steps in the ring, things happen. He comes off recently that Michael Moore Classic, a knockdown festival. I think Bert Cooper, Sean, is the modern-day Ernie Shavers. And he looks across now at Rocky Pepeli, who also comes right at his opponent, throws bombs. He's a banger. He's known to have a pretty good chin, and it will indeed be tested by Bert Cooper tonight. Pepeli is completely outmatched in the experience factor. While Cooper has traded with Holyfield and Foreman and Bowe and Moore, Pepeli comes off fights against Sam Atkins and Mike Gans. And there's a right by Cooper. Pepeli owns 7 first-round knockouts, but he has been taken out in 1 on a couple occasions. Cooper has knocked out his opponents in the first round on 8 occasions.
Now, Bert Cooper is starting this opening round extremely fast. Usually it takes him a few rounds to get going, but he's trying to set the pace early in this fight. Says that he's taking his boxing career more seriously now.
Here's a guy, how many people could say they had 2 title fights, heavyweight title fights in a matter of 6 months? Bert Cooper against Holyfield, stepping in the last moment, replacing Francisco Damiani, and almost coming away with the title. And 6 months later against Michael Moore, who owns the WBO title if you are scoring.
Pepeli had better get busy in this opening round. It has been all Bert Cooper. This is the experience of Cooper. Getting through those gloves, not wasting these punches.
Well, Pepeli, an amateur star out of Iowa, National Junior Olympics champion. Won 180 amateur fights, lost 23. Last few years he has been in Los Angeles under the tutelage of the Goosen Gym. And while in LA picking up some side jobs, you may recognize the face. He appeared in the feature film Diggstown, James Wood and Luke Gossett.
Buck Holland in that film, Diggstown. Lost the fight to Lou Gossett. He is getting rocked in this opening round.
Well, the Goosens feel it's time for a test for Rocky Pepeli. They're going to find out where he is. This is obviously his first big test, the matchup against Cooper. And they found at least it has gotten Pepeli to train hard. He's been sparring 8 rounds a day. Goosen had to get him to train harder to try to see if there was a next level.
Needing some motivation. Certainly do it.
We approach the second round.
Cooper's almost too excited about this. They're trying to settle him down in the corner.
Round 2.
Out of the Joe Frazier school, straight ahead, 1-2 shot to the body and the head. That's what they're trying to get Cooper to settle down here in the second round. You know, before a previous fight, which we saw Bert Cooper, he said he was altering his style. He wanted to jab a little more technique, some lateral movement combinations, cover up defensively. And Sean, I think that lasted until the opening bell sounded.
You know, in that first round, I know what you're saying, Al. However, in that first round, he was showing me some moves. He was showing me some jabs that we haven't seen from Bert Cooper before. Usually the only way he got a jab was on the end of his nose.
Right now it is all Bert Cooper. Rocky Pepeli is yet to come out of an early shell.
And this is really the first time in his career, Al, that he's been in a position where he could take command in a fight. He can control the tempo and the pace. He can do that with the jab. If he wants to heat it up now, he's the boss. In the past, he has not been the boss, fighting people like Foreman, even McCall, Fulalongi, Edward Bigfoot Martin, Holyfield, Riddick Bowe, all those fighters, Michael Moore, they controlled the pace.
Give it up, says referee Bill Connors. The crowd does not agree. Here is Cooper, last-minute replacement that gets a title shot. He's a flurry away from becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. And now Bert Cooper not even ranked in the top 10 in the heavyweight division. The highest he is ranked, WBC places him at number 11.
And if you are Pepeli, you must watch out for the top of Bert Cooper's head. Watch how close their heads are together and how many times they bang those heads. Although Rocky does keep his chin down, tucked real well.
What is Rocky's real name? It's Rocky, named after his grandfather, Rocky. Father's name is Roger. Both also boxers, but at the weight of 147. This Rocky is premium size. His father was an amateur, so his grandfather did a great deal of fighting in the county fairs. Where there was a fight, where there was some money, he stepped in the ring.
A low blow thrown by Bert Cooper. I apologize. You know, what the body punchers do, sometimes they have to go around those elbows. Pepeli keeps his elbows in nice and tight. You have to dig around those. Occasionally go below the belt.
Well, Cooper trying to go around it. And then got a warning from his corner. Just want him to go up the middle. 10 seconds left in round 2. And we will pause for a word from your local cable systems.
In that second round, Bert Cooper trying to dig around the elbows, roughing his opponent up a little bit. Boom, downstairs, a little too low. Referee saw it, caught it, gave him a warning for it. He is a rough fighter, too. He comes in with his elbows, he comes in with the top of his head. He likes to brawl. Rough and tough.
Rocky Pepeli hasn't seen the likes, but Pepeli gets through the first 2 rounds against Cooper. There's a major step up, you would think, for Pepeli. And in the corner after the second round, very spirited, Pepeli telling his handlers, Joe Goosen and Greg Goosen, says, I feel great. So he is just maybe loosening up and getting into this offense. Cooper showing him a little of the George Foreman defense.
Good body shots, Pepeli. Boy, those heads are coming so close together.
Now, you're not seeing the same Bert Cooper you saw months ago against Michael Moore.
That's right. Or the same Bert Cooper that we saw even in the first round. He was getting more movement. Now see how much Bert moves that head? That's very dangerous.
There's the uppercut. The left uppercut sliced through.
An uppercut would be a great punch for Bert because Rocky tucks his chin way down. You bring that chin up with the uppercut. And then you come back with a countering hook.
Almost came up with the elbow. Cooper, though, has to watch his weight. 233. Much too heavy for his 5'11" frame. He's 224, bulked up for Moore. Last fight, though, 218 against Jaco. Inside a minute to go in the third. Al Albert, along with the champ, Sean O'Grady, ringside. They're there. Pepeli getting distracted, looking away. A mistake.
Was going to complain about a low blow. You're taught in boxing, the good old-time professionals teach their fighters, they say, if you throw a low blow, throw it in a combination. That way, if your opponent turns to complain to the referee, you just keep hitting him. Referee many times doesn't see the low blow.
Cooper has already been warned once because of low blow. Pepeli has been past the 6th round on only 2 occasions. Big experience factor here going for Cooper. Light shining in the ring. Full house here at the War Memorial in Fort Lauderdale. It's the main event. Bert Cooper in the black trunks, backing a Rocky Pepeli against the ropes. 4th round action.
And between rounds, Greg and Joe Goosen in the corner of Rocky Pepeli telling their man, hit your opponent in the body. Go downstairs. They said jab when you're backing up. Good instructions from the Goosens. You got to take Bert Cooper's body away from him. With that target down there that Bert has, you have to zero in on that. And a man like Bert, he has been hit in the head so many times before. He knows how to get hit in the head. He knows how to take those shots. He can withstand the punishment upstairs, but you start hitting in the body, and those things add up. You can shake off those head punches, but you can't shake off those body punches.
As Bert told all the fans in the beginning of this broadcast, hey, he loves tennis, but he's glad boxing is back. That's his right. 1 minute gone by in the 4th. And it is Cooper keeping Pepeli in the back pedal mode.
Pepeli is looking for help from the referee to get a break. He sees that the tape on his right glove has come loose, and he's trying to wave it so the referee will see it. Gives you a few seconds.
Pepeli, 16 victories, 4 losses, 1 draw. He has 14 knockouts. But the names on his ledger, not exactly household names. Bert Cooper, the first actually named fighter he has been in against. And on Cooper's ledger, it's a who's who in the fight game. Cooper, 26 years old. You know, Cooper's 2 years younger than Pepeli. Hard to believe. Cooper, 26, seems that he's had so many careers. He's been around for so long.
There's the time Bill Connors now had that tape on the left glove of Pepeli take down. You know, you're right. It seems like Bert Cooper has been around forever. Seems like he was boxing back when Rocky Pepeli's grandfather was fighting.
Cooper turned pro at the age of 18. A matter of fact, almost to the day, 8 years ago. September 11th, 84.
A man who just loves to fight. Rather fight than work out. It's no fun working out anyway.
That's why he fights so much.
Right, it's fun to fight, not fun to work out.
Like the guy who's been married 5 times, didn't believe in dating. Right now, some blood from the nose of Rocky Pepeli. Closing seconds of the round. Bert Cooper comes into the ring. Knew this was not Evander Holyfield or Michael Moore, 2 of his best fights in his career. And he's taking a casual stroll in this one against Rocky Pepeli. Certainly the intensity level not even close for Cooper.
Really, it's unfamiliar ground for Bert. Bert has never had to control a match before, and here he is doing it.
Coming in as the heavy favorite.
The favorite and really the boss inside the ring. Usually he's the underdog, and he's having to fight bigger and heavier men.
And Pepeli comes in with a big knockout ratio, 14 KOs and his 16 wins. And seeing him here tonight basically tells you about his opponents in the past. He has shown very little power in this one against Cooper.
It's been a different level of competition for these two. You know, you see that Cooper has been in, and he's lost a lot of fights. Let's face it. He lost 9 fights, 28 wins, but he's been getting beat by better fighters. Pepeli has a much better record, 16-4-1, but he hasn't faced the stiff competition that Cooper has. Cooper has learned in those fights that he lost really how to box.
Cooper not exactly smoking tonight. Matter of fact, he hasn't even lit up yet. But doing what he has to do. Next week we'll see Alex Garcia, 6th rank heavyweight. Steps in the ring against Mike the Giant White from El Paso, Texas. Last time we saw Garcia in Phoenix against Bull Benton. How many punches in a row, unanswered punches, did he unleash?
I believe there were 37.
37.
That Bull Benton got hit.
One of the most controversial fights ever on USA. Fight that was allowed to continue for 37 unanswered punches.
And those are 37 punches that these two heavyweights wish that they had.
We haven't seen 37 punches in this. No. And quite frankly, I'm sure you'll be seeing the footage once again next week of that Garcia-Benton finish. This one's slowing down. We thought this one may end quickly, but that has not been the case. Inside 20 seconds. Cooper in the black trunks, Rocky Pepeli in the gold trunks. And Bert huffing and puffing in between rounds.
Very tired between that 5th and the 6th round. He has perhaps punched himself out. You know, now he's working off experience. Comes out the first part of the round throwing fast punches. Then as the round goes longer,
what do you wait?
once again do slow down. And there's some of the tape that's getting kind of loose.
Rocco.
From the right glove this time with Pepeli. Now they did tape that glove back in the 3rd round when they taped his left glove.
Joe Goosen just wants some airtime, that's all. Well, Cooper comes in at 233, much too heavy, which also may tell you something about his training habits since his last fight in July against David Jaco to this point.
And like I said, where he is dangerous, where Bert Cooper is dangerous, is after a couple of wins. He's coming off 1 win in this fight over David Jaco, but where he's dangerous is after a couple of losses. When he's been beaten, that's when he gets serious about the sport and he says, hey, I really can do some things. If he's coming off a win, a heavyweight fighter is safe, usually.
Well, most fighters have what, Sean, 1-2 crossroad fights in their career. For Bert, it seems like every fight is a crossroad fight. Which then again, if you take it further, basically means no fights, the crossroad fights. He always knows that he could bounce back.
Well, and you know what? It is true that he can. It says something about this sport. When a man can have 1 fight and be in the heavyweight championship of the world, you know, maybe this is a rocky sport. But is that fair to all those kids out there that are training their hearts out, trying to do the best they can in every match that they perform in?
Tell you, Pepeli's jab is getting in, doing a little damage to the right eye of Cooper, but it was the uppercut, especially the left by Cooper, doing the damage. Mouthpiece is gone. Trying to determine whose it is. It's Cooper's.
Right here, if Bert could turn up the heat, have enough steam, but Bert is sucking wind now. He's tired. He's sucking air. That mouthpiece came out because he has his mouth open. You know, part of being a champion of the world is performing at your best every single time out. You do not have a bad night. You make sure that you do the things that you must do to have a perfect night. Over the weekend, I had a chance to watch Julio Cesar Chavez. He has a perfect night every night out. In destroying Hector Camacho, he was right on. He was right on target. That's why he's the best pound-for-pound fighter today.
That's not only in this sport. NBA guys like Jordan and Bert and Magic, Julius Erving will play every night.
They do it every day.
We'll pause now for a word from our local cable systems.
Bert Cooper is throwing the punches, but he's throwing them in singles. Watch him throw this jab. He hesitates, then he'll throw an uppercut. After that, here is an uppercut. They're single punches. There are no punches together. If he could put some combinations together, he'd be able to score well.
In the meantime, again, the tape coming off the gloves of Rocky Pepeli. The film's getting on the corner of Pepeli. Now this tape will never come off.
You know, in the amateurs, they have a little elastic band, like a headband that they put around your glove so that tape doesn't come loose. You tape it, and then on top of that tape, you put that band. Why not? They should do that in the pros.
Matter of fact, Pepeli now will have to sleep with these gloves too.
Well, you know what's happening next? What's going to happen here very soon is the tape on Bert Cooper's gloves are going to come loose. Maybe he'll get Goose in to tape those.
Oh, we'll get that heavy-duty black tape. Although that's coming off now on his right. So much for that. Crowd's going to be calling for Tex Cobb to come back in the ring pretty soon.
With the tape?
Seventh round, I hesitate to call it action. Bert Cooper, there's the solid right.
You made Bert mad. You better call it action. There goes the mouthpiece again and the tape.
Hey, you know, Sean, there is a full moon out there tonight.
There's a full moon in here.
And another chance.
Rocco, you heard him with that
Joe
uppercut,
Goosen
man.
to
You
go to
can't
work.
lay off.
I just hope they keep the clock running. When do you start taking some points away from Pepeli?
Well, if they think that he's spitting that mouthpiece.
Or Cooper, well, that's Cooper, but
yeah. Well, Pepeli.
Cooper was the one in the black trunks, Pepeli in the gold. But
Would you ask me again? Well, concerning the mouthpiece, Al,
Yes.
the referee, if he thinks that the mouthpiece is being spit out purposefully, he will leave it out. He stops the action and puts it back in.
now, what
Then he
about the
thinks
tape? Can you be penalized for the tape?
I've never heard a rule about the tape. But that's really not Pepeli's fault. That's the fault of the corner.
Sure.
I think actually what's happening, I think Cooper is grabbing it with his teeth and pulling that tape, ripping it with his teeth.
And that's why he lost the mouthpiece.
Oh, there goes the mouthpiece again. Now, third time's a charm. I think it's time to, look. Now I think now it's time to either take a point or good warning. There, referee's taking a point. Good job by Bill Connors. 1 point, good. You lose it one time, it's on the house. This time it was twice it was on the house. And then they take a point.
And now Cooper's tape is coming off.
Well, Cooper's tired. He is, in this fight out, he's sloppy, he's out of gas, he's out of steam. He hasn't spent the time in the gym training.
Now Cooper finally going to the body. And now upstairs. Cooper he's on automatic pilot for this. And I think. And very slowly. This looks like an old-timers fight with Cooper. Slowly walking back to the stool.
All right.
Looks like he's not 26, but 36 years old. Now, about the mouthpiece. Is he doing it on purpose?
He's not purposefully spitting it out. What he's doing is he's breathing through his mouth now, and as he is, that mouthpiece just comes flying out. Right there, with the mouth open. When you get tired, your mouth comes open. You're trying to get more air in there, and when you get more air in, more air goes out. Good thing his tongue is attached.
Water.
Water. How about a Budweiser there?
How about some oxygen?
King of beers.
Use a chair to my boxing show while you rest, okay? Okay? That's laughter.
And now the chant from the crowd of Rocky, Rocky. 8th round action. And this one has slowed to 33 1/3 RPMs.
Oh, and this is something that has destroyed Bert Cooper's career. Not playing the part. If you're going to be a professional boxer, you have to play the part. You have to act the part. You got to train. You got to stay clean. You got to keep your body in good health, in good shape. You can't come in at 233 out of gas after 2 rounds and not playing the part of being a professional boxer.
And what does that say about Rocky Pepeli? I mean, if there's any night he wants to step up against a guy like Bert Cooper, he's there for him.
And Pepeli should use this as a learning experience. He wanted to gauge his career, see where he was in the scope of the heavyweight picture. I think he can pretty much tell where he is in the heavyweight picture, and he needs to go back to work. Go back and do some more work. Maybe watch some more of those Rocky films.
Cooper, when he gets the uppercut going, has been scoring at will. And there's a combination. Oh, Rocky is rocked. Does not know where he is right now. Looking at his corner, Joe Goosen. Remember, had the count on Rafael Morales, but they got that all squared away by now. So Bert Cooper putting some muscle into it. And there is the mouthpiece again of Cooper. And that's the best thing to happen to Rocky Pepeli. You got to wash it off first, guys. No point taken away now. Point taken away to Cooper will be immaterial. So Pepeli gets a nice 10-15 second breather. And now it is all Cooper closing in. Bill Connors, they have to stop this one. 3 knockdown rule in effect. Connors will let this one continue. Cooper knows that he could close this one out.
And let's see if he can. All he has to do here is turn it right up again. Referee will step in and stop it, and he does. Good. Thank you, Bert.
Now Bert gives you 30 seconds, and that's all that is enough to take this one home. You see the right eye of Bert Cooper closed somewhat, taking some of the jab of Rocky Pepeli, but it was all Bert Cooper, even though he came in overweight and left his intensity somewhere else. But he knew what was in front of him, and that this was essentially a workout for Bert Cooper.
And one thing that Rocky Pepeli may be suffering from is sparring partner syndrome. And sparring out in LA and not really giving it his all in the sparring sessions. Here is a look at the first knockdown from that final round. Bert Cooper, the heavy punches in this round. Coming out, throwing them in the big shots. Right here, Pepeli is out on his feet, staggering back a little bit. Down he went. Later in that round, Pepeli got up and went on to catch Bert Cooper's punches. Cooper here turned up the intensity just a little bit.
Well, he knew
on the heat. He knew the end was near.
Okay, that 30 seconds of Cooper, that's what you saw for 5 rounds against Moore.
With Moore.
Yes.
With Moore throwing those punches.
Well, they had both of them.
Yeah, right. Both of them. It was a good fight.
So Bill Connors, the referee, finally puts an end to this one. A fight that has to go into the Guinness Book of Records for most stoppages for tape and mouthpiece, but it's finally over. We'll talk to Bert Cooper, and he can take his mouthpiece out for the interview when we return to Fort Lauderdale on USA's Tuesday Night Fights. But first, let's get the official time from the ring announcer, Mark Bureau.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 10 seconds of the 8th round. Referee stops contest. The winner by technical knockout, Smokin' Bert Cooper.
Bert Cooper goes to 29-9, recording his 25th knockout as Rocky Pepeli falls to 16-5-1. We'll talk with Smokin' Bert when we return. With an 8th round knockout over Rocky Pepeli at 2 minutes and 10 seconds of that 8 rounds. Bert, we're glad you took out the mouthpiece, at least for the interview. You had a little trouble with it.
Yeah, getting used to this weight, you know, it just made me breathe a little harder. And I was going to breathe out my mouth, but every time I breathed out my mouth, it kept coming out.
You're saying you're trying to get used to this weight. Is this the weight you want to fight at?
No, I got to come down. You know, just my regular eating habit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just eat.
Well, after the high of the Moorer fight and the Holyfield fight, you just came in here. Would you just take this guy pretty lightly?
Yeah, because I had to show the world, you know, who the Smoke is. You know what I'm saying? They really don't know. You know what I'm saying? They just know I lost against Holyfield and Michael Moore. But I'll tell you one thing. When I get George Foreman or whatever, George Foreman, when he start playing Baby Huey and come on out and face the Smoke, you know, once again, rematch. You know what I'm saying?
It looks like you're trying to get up to his weight.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to get up to his weight, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get up to his status. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be the man now. You know what I'm saying?
What about tonight, Bert? It looked like you were slow. It looked like you were tired before that burst of energy there in the 8th round. Were you out of gas?
No, I wasn't out of gas. My body ain't used to the weight. I'm heavier now. I'm 233. I'm like 15 pounds heavier.
What does that do to you?
It slows me up.
Makes it harder to throw the punch?
Yeah. But man, I'll be ordering Snickers at 4:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Hella bell, man. You know what I'm saying? I just can't stop eating. I'll be eating my sleep.
All right, Bert, let's take a look at that last round, and I wonder if you give us a little description of what's going on. This is where you turned it up. This is the first knockdown. Do you remember this moment?
Yes, I do. I believe I do. The uppercut.
The uppercut was scoring all night. That was your most effective punch.
Uh-huh.
What happened this round? What did you see that you said, I've got to turn it up now? I've got to go out.
Yeah.
What did you see?
It was getting closer to the end. So I said, come on. I didn't did my job at the beginning.
Now, this was his first visit to the canvas, but right here on that second time when he got up, you went right in after him. Why?
Because, I can't afford to lose to a guy. You know, he's a great fighter and stuff like that, but I can't afford to lose. You know what I'm saying? I got bills to pay.
Did you think the end was near as we take a look here?
Yeah.
He got up and he stood around, he looked around. Did you think that was it for him?
Yeah, I think it was. I thought it was. And then he got a little bit more, and then I said, all right, y'all start smiling there.
Yeah.
And I said, come on, so,
And again, you turned the heat up.
The Smoke ain't no joke. Keep telling them. You know, when you least suspect.
Boom.
You know?
There is the overhand right. You had clobbered him all night with that overhand right.
But he just didn't go nowhere. He's strong.
He play into your game?
Yeah, he did.
Stayed right in there.
Stayed right in there.
Off this performance tonight, how would you grade yourself?
Grade myself, 5.
Yeah, what do you need to work on?
Not a 5 out of 5.
Well, I'm there. I'm there.
It's a 4 scale.
Okay.
Well, Foreman, just come on. Just bring your being. Just bring yourself on. I'm ready.
All right, Bert, you've fought David Jaco, a journeyman. You fought Rocky Pepeli, who's not in your class. What is on your mind? Are you waiting for Foreman? But